Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and to all those people out there with the strangest kinds of addictions. We are the Dad Religion Podcast. My name's Jim. Over here we got Jason. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing well. We got to have a sleepover with the grandson last night. First time. We were the first house he stayed the night at that, wasn't mom and dad's. And he was great. He was perfect. Better than he is with his parents. Yeah.
Nice. Luca, baby Luca.
Baby Luca, he's the shit, dude. I love being a grandpa. If I haven't said it before, I just love being a grandpa. It's so much fun.
That's beautiful. Does your daughter live on the second floor?
No, no.
No.
Well, actually, he does. They do live on the second
Oh,
floor.
perfect.
Not really. That's not a good song to
That's
correlate.
perfect. I wonder who lives upstairs from her. Anyways, so I wanted to talk about something. So I gotta wash my eyes. Listen, I have been watching these fucking videos of me and
Mm,
my eyes rolling into the back of my head.
mm.
And only the whites of my eyes showing, and it looks like I'm becoming possessed. So I'm gonna keep my eyes like this the entire time.
Now you just have to look like you're on tweak the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know why I do that. I don't get. I think I'm thinking, and I do that when I think. But I'm gonna try not to think during this episode.
Well, that's encouraging. We're all, like as if we're not off the cuff enough. We're just not thinking at all. Free association, whatever comes next. I'm gonna show you a picture and you tell me what comes to mind.
and um, so I
Oh,
walked into the living room and I sat down, and my wife was watching this show called My Strange Addiction. I'm sure there's people out there who saw it, and that is the most fucked up show I have. I don't know if it's the most fucked up show I've ever seen, but it was pretty fucked up. I walked in on a dude who only eats he eats cardboard. Cardboard.
mm,
He
mm.
has cardboard stashed in his car, cardboard in his house, cardboard boxes, and he gets it wet, and then he rips it up and he puts it in little Ziploc baggies, and he puts it in his backpack. He eats 4 baggies a day, and they're completely full, and it's like a quart bag, and he just puts it in like it's popcorn, and he chews it, and he's been doing it for like 20 years. 20
I wonder
years.
what made him start eating cardboard. So I'm assuming he
He
was a little
said,
kid, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah, he said he looked at cardboard, he saw some cardboard, and he thought to himself, I wonder what that tastes like. So he took a bite of it, and he thought it tasted great, and he continued on. And this guy has cardboard, and he puts it in his mouth, and he rips off a piece like it's a piece of jerky. And then I saw another chick. This chick has been eating hot glue for 6
Mm,
years.
I
Hot
sense
glue. She
trouble
has a
with
little
that.
gun. She
Yeah,
plugs it in. She gets it hot.
like
No,
I
she
used to do
puts
with
it
the
on a
Slurpee
plate, lets
machine.
it dry, and then she pops it in her mouth, and she chews it, and she takes the sticks. She takes the sticks and bites it off it like it's a Slim Jim. And she's just chewing it up. There's another lady who is addicted to breastfeeding. She's breastfeeding her like 7, 8, 9-year-old, and then her 5-year-old, like in public.
No,
She puts
no.
she put she puts breast milk like in the pancakes, on like if they got a wound, like a skin knee, she'll rub it on the skin knee. If they have a like a toothache, she'll rub it on their gums. Uh and she's like, I've asked my husband if he wants any breast milk, and he's like, no, I don't want no part of that.
Dude, yeah, but, she's at the park and she's whipping it out for her 9-year-old?
Yeah, and there's people walking by
I'm telling
staring
you,
at her.
dude, her friend or his friends are gonna be like, "Oh, yo, Kev, can I get in on that, man?"
These kids are gonna be like 14, 15-year-old. Hey, can I get some mama milk?
I saw the woman who eats everything through her nose. She snorts everything. That's,
Yes.
you know, crazy. It was,
Yeah,
avocado toast was the first one right in the blender.
yes, straight
That's
through the blender and straight up the now. Keep her away from the cocaine. She is not
oh,
fun at parties because she will make you
no.
go broke.
take it all. She'd be like, "Hey, Linda."
There's also a dude who was dating his car. There was a lady who does vabbing. It's like is it vabbing? Yeah, vabbing. It's like dabbing. It kind of sound the same, but she takes her own personal juices, if you know what I mean, and then rubs it on her body to attract a man,
Like,
like her
for pheromones, right?
pheromones.
Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
alright. Well, there's that.
And then there's the jizz lady. She takes
Uh,
jizz and she drinks it and she puts it on her face as facial stuff. And her boyfriend's like, I can't keep up with all this jizz she wants.
he's like, "I'm losing weight. Can't get out of the chair." Like, just
Yeah, man. Uh, so what do you
wow, dude.
think about people like you never know what someone is addicted to. Like
No,
like you
no.
never know what they're doing in their private lives. You could walk around someone who's having sex with his car and you not even know it. I know it's just weird, dude. Like these people are so strange. Like
Dude,
and
people
then to
have
go on a TV show and have show everyone
yeah, yeah. Dude,
like
humans are weird, bro. We've got, like, human beings are just we're weird folk. You know, there's all kinds of different like, there's people who are, like, hoarding and stuff like that. I would imagine that this show would be to me like watching hoarding. I only watched a couple of quick clips, but dude, watching that hoarding show upset me so much that, like, I don't even wanna see commercials and shit anymore. I'm like, not at all, you know, it really,
why did
really
it
bothered me.
upset you? It is sad. It is
Well, one
sad.
one, because I think my mom was a bit of a hoarder, and so it just, when I see that kinda thing, it, like I see the psychological disorder behind it, and it bothers me, you know? Yeah, and the other thing is
Understood. Understood.
that just goes to, like, dude, like, we are so undertreated for our mental illness in this country, you
Oh,
know, and, like, so many of, like, the homeless people that you see out there, I know a lot of them are drug addicted, and I know a lot of them, like, you know, meth addicts, and there a lot of them are people out there who have mental disorders, and th they start with the drugs because they can no longer afford or they don't like the psychiatric medication, and so they're medicating themselves until they completely lost their minds, you know? It's just, it's very sad. I always think that it makes me think that if it weren't for myself and my dad and my godmother and her husband who are saints and my uncle who's my godfather, if it wasn't for all of us constantly trying to keep underneath her and keep her propped up, she would have been home. She couldn't take care of herself. And she like but you wouldn't get that from her if you talk to her in a conversation. She can carry a conversation, a delightful person to sit and talk with when she in terms of, like, paying her bills and, like, not ordering stuff online, you know, and or from, what is it,
QVC.
oh my god, dude, so many boxes for a while, and then just hoarding, like, things, you know, and then, you know, she 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 was always sick with something different and, you know, she's probably Munchausen syndrome, you know, you know, which is its own thing. I mean, it's just like it's a cocktail, but the treatment that she got was shit for her mental disorders. I mean, they just for some reason, the resources that have gone towards that over the last, like, 30 years have, you know, diminished.
I, I think it's gotten better, no, than back then.
I don't know, I think they've gotten rid of all of the psychiatric institutes, you know, all the state-run psychiatric institutes. They closed all those during Ronald Reagan. And so,
But were
there's
those even good? I've heard horror stories
no,
about
there's
those
a lot of
places.
bad things, but you improve on the you gotta improve on the system rather than eliminate the system altogether and just throw people out to the street, and that's basically what it is, and right now, it seems like, most of the treatment facilities are, "Okay, we'll quit drugs first, and then we'll get you into a home," and that's just not when you go around the world, when you look around the world at the way other people in other countries have, treated addiction and where they've been successful, where we have not, is been getting people into a house before you worry about getting them off the drugs, and then you get them into a house and you have them in a safe, secure place and then you start to get them off the drugs. You see what I'm saying? Like, most people, I think even most drug addicts don't wanna be drug addicts anymore, but the idea of going from where they are now to sobriety is just a nightmare in, like, 20 parts. It's hard to do that. I mean, even if you have only, like, flirted with, like, addiction, even with something like coffee or, like, cigarettes, like, going off of something that you're dependent on is a bad time. Even weed, you get headaches and you get all depressed for a couple days, but, imagine trying to go off of methamphetamine after you've been on it for 2 years or go off of, crack,
So
or
so I
heroin.
watched this guy. Have you ever heard of Victor the Good Boss?
I have not.
Okay, so Victor the Good Boss is a gentleman. I watch him on Instagram. So
Okay.
what he does, he owns a landscaping business, but what he does is he goes into, usually it's Boston, and he goes and he feeds homeless people, and then he asks them, "Do you want to get off the streets? I mean, I will help you get off the streets. I will get you into treatment. I will get you I will get you a scholarship, and you either go to Florida, California, I can't remember the other place. He has 3 places,
Scholarship for what?
for treatment, so
Oh,
where it's paid for. So what he does is if they agree, he gets on a plane with them and takes them himself and delivers them. He has to get them through customs first because a lot of them don't have, like, IDs. They've been on the street for years. Not customs, but I don't know what it is. But so they have to ID them
security.
before they can
Huh.
let them on. And he takes them, and then what he does is he raises money over social media to pay for their aftercare also. So he'll pay for their aftercare until they can get a job. I watched him save so many people's lives, probably like 8 or 9 people that since I've been watching him. But then there's also been a few that don't show up, that don't. He'll buy him a phone. He'll be like, here's a prepaid phone. I want you to call me if they don't got a phone. They won't show up, they'll leave treatment. He has a few of them like that. But this dude is a badass. Like, he
Yeah,
just does
yeah.
this because he was an addict. He went through all that, and he literally goes to the worst of the worst and tries to get people off the street. I just watched this lady. She'd been on the street 9 years, and he brought her off, and he just got her new teeth. Like, her teeth are so fucked. So he has a dentist, uh, not a dentist, but a oral surgeon who literally does it for 5% of what he would usually charge. So a whole new set of teeth for like 5 grand. He raises the money, pays for it, keeps him in treatment. It's pretty badass. It gives me a hope for
And
humanity.
and what is his success rate? Any idea? Like you
I
said,
don't
it
know,
got
but I'd say 70%.
that's I would because to me,
But
a
but
good success rate would
success
be 25%, you know?
success also, I mean, that's maybe success going to treatment. I mean, who knows long after. He does updates on each and every one of
Well,
them. If
yeah.
they have like if they have some outstanding warrants that they got to get taken care of, he'll go with them to court. He'll vouch for them. He just seems like a really good dude.
Yeah,
You should check him out. I'll send you a few links. I'll send
I
you his
appreciate
page.
doing God's work for sure. I've seen stuff like that. I don't think I saw him, but I've seen stuff similar. I think Dave Grohl does something. They not just like that, but they go into the community, he cooks, he feeds people, sees where they're at, you know? There's
Dave
this there
Grohl from the
Yeah,
Foo
believe it or not,
Fighters.
they're from the Foo Fighters. That's one of his things that he does. He doesn't really advertise it or anything like that. You
That
gotta
cheating bastard.
Yeah, that guy
Just
cheated on
kidding.
his wife and had these fucking people, man, these elite types of people,
we're
they think
we're human. We're all human.
we are all human, but I think that these people who become super famous, become super wealthy, put themselves into a different class, a different world. I think they honestly start to believe that they operate under a different set of rules than the rest of us. And the Diddy tapes and the Epstein files, I think, are just, if they're nothing else, they're evidence that there are these two different moral worlds that we're operating under, and that this elite, they become a lot like the Roman elite, man. Back in the day, these decadent orgy throwing, you know, I don't know if they got the vomitoriums out there yet, but I mean, it's pretty bad, and they might, you know, there's so many freaking eating disorders and, you know, other disorders that are out there in this community full of hyper privileged people, you know, and they time and time again, Jason, they just seem to do bad things.
That's a beautiful segue.
Uh,
Tell me about the Friday news dump.
yeah,
I
Friday
just rolled
news
my eyes
dump.
again.
Yeah, it's okay, dude, because my jaw keeps on slackening, and I'm like, so
It's gonna
we're
kill
on.
me. It's gonna kill me. I think about it every single time now.
It is
I'm
not
trying to
going to.
just stare into my own eyes and like, don't
It may drive
roll
you crazy.
them.
It may drive you crazy. It's not gonna kill you. So the Friday news dump is this, it's a long honored tradition of people either in high places of power or, you know, in an administration or in government or some high functioning power when they want to release a bunch of information that they would like to have the fewest eyes looking at. They'll dump it all on Friday afternoon, late on Friday afternoon, right? Probably right after the deadline for most newspapers to print for the next day, even though most people don't get their information that way anymore. And in the 24-hour news cycle, that's a less effective method. But what they do is they just give you this massive tranche of information, and usually what you want is buried somewhere inside, and they give it to you with that short window of time so you can get it out into the news cycle because it's a 24-hour news cycle now. Everyone wants to get it out real fast, and so it's just a way of muddying up the water, when you're releasing something that you don't want all the eyes on, you know what I'm saying? And there's so much of it, when you do it like that, there's so much of it, like 5 or 6 months later, somebody might be going through and be like, "Oh my god, look at this shit." And then "Oh, man, that's old news. What are you talking about? We released that 5 months ago. What are you all still about that about?" You know, that kinda shit. So, it's a tactic,
Well,
and that's what we got on Friday. A massive, like, Friday news dump to end all Friday news dumps. They gave us the rest of the Epstein shit, basically.
yeah, that's not going away though. That they could do the Friday news dump
Oh,
with the Epstein
true.
files.
Yeah.
That ain't going away. We got
No.
some sick motherfuckers out there. And
And dude, yeah,
unfortunately,
listen,
POTUS is one of them.
let us who's one of them?
POTUS.
POTUS. Well, you know, this is I don't know if we've actually talked about this specifically yet, Jason, but this is my opinion, and let me see if you share this opinion. Anybody who has done any of that awful, terrible shit, I hope the fuck that they are prosecuted and that they go to prison, and after they go to prison, they go to hell. How about that? Like, I don't care who the fuck they are. I give 0 fucks who they are. You know, my uncle, sorry, unc, that sucks, but you're gone. You know, that's a fucked up thing, and there's 0 wiggle room, just none whatsoever. Do we
Well, I
agree on
mean,
that?
any normal. That's a silly question, dude.
No,
Of
because
course,
it's
I
not.
agree on
It's
that.
not, Jason, because there are people already right now who are parsing it all out. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. It is when you ask me. Yes, it's a silly question. Of
Okay, good.
course, I don't give a
I
fuck
I
who you
appreciate
are.
I appreciate that about you, that you think it's a silly question because that is an honest reaction, and that's where we all should be, right? But it's not where we are at all.
No, you seen who's in there? Like Robin Leach. I heard there's some crazy stuff with Robin Leach. The lifestyles of rich and famous.
My god, the
Uh,
comedians are gonna go wild with that.
So I did look up the Jay-Z thing, and it turns out that he's not in there. There's no implications with him in there. But him and God, I just did it again. What's
Jamie Foxx?
well, Jamie Foxx is in there, but
He
also Michael Jackson's in there, Diana Ross is in there, Mick Jagger's in there. So
right.
let
Okay.
let let's be clear. It doesn't matter. You could be in there and have no implications. So
Right, but
understood.
what is one thing that's constant amongst all of these people who are in these files, who traveled on these planes, who are constantly bumping shoulders with these people? What's that one constant?
You tell me,
They're
Jeffrey
all
Epstein?
they're they're all super fucking elite.
Oh,
All of
yeah, oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
that class, man. Like, you know, and when like 10 years ago when my daughter Bella, when she was in high school and she was like giving me all this stuff about, oh, there's the Illuminati and it's Jay-Z and Beyonce and they're all like and I'm like, oh my God, there's always some kind of crazy conspiracy bullshit going on, right? Well, it doesn't help when you reinforce those negative stereotypes by being a fucking elitist ass group that like thinks that you operate under a different fucking set of rules. You know, like, go on.
I'm gonna say this. I
Yeah.
know you're not a big conspiracy theory guy, but I'm gonna tell you that this conspiracy about Hollywood and the elite that was on the right, I think is real. I think it's true. I may not be. It may not be to the. I don't know that they're worshiping Satan and all that other stuff, but to 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 some points, it's kind of real. And I'm seeing things nowadays, whether it be the murder of Charlie Kirk. Everyone thinks Candace Owen is a cuckoo, but all she's doing is throwing out facts. I listen to her every day. She
She's
is
a cool
literally
cuckoo, though. I like that cuckoo. I like where she's going with her cuckoo.
she's so talented because she always comes up with conspiracy theories that call her a grifter, yada yada. She is throwing out straight facts. They are facts, and she comes with receipts. She shows text messages. She shows everything. So if she was just throwing out these conspiracy theories and not having anything to back it, I get it. But this woman, everything she states, she gives facts and backing to it. And if she makes a mistake, she's like, "All right, I screwed up on that one. That one's not correct."
And that
So
gives her credibility.
let me pull that out.
Unfortunately,
But
yeah, that's great.
everyone on the right, everyone who is against her is just saying she's a wackadoodle. She's just doing it for money.
Yeah,
She's just doing it for this, doing it for
yeah.
that. And
Uh,
listen, this whole Charlie Kirk thing, conspiracy wise, not to pivot too much, it's wild. It is crazy to
dude,
think
the
if
Epstein
you
files conspiracy is wild. They're
I
all wild, and they're all stopping. They're not so much being conspiracies when more information comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it,
yeah, and what's wild to me is how a group of people can pivot. Like, let's take Minnesota. Oh, we're all about guns, gun control. I mean, we should be able to carry our guns, yada yada. Oh, he's carrying a gun. He shouldn't have been at he shouldn't have been there with
and
a
the
gun.
guy
Two
and the guy
magazines? He had two magazines? What the
dude,
fuck?
and the guy who makes that argument was in the Michigan State House with a fucking rifle slung over his fucking shoulder and like 8 magazines strapped to his vest when they were trying to like pass COVID rules back in the day. The same fucking guy that's saying that guy got shot because he had a gun was at it was at the Capitol building on January 6th. Maybe he left his gun outside before he went in, but you know what I'm saying? Like these people, like, you're right. They pivot. There's
That just
no,
tells me where are your morals? I don't know your morals anymore because your morals for so long for the past 8-9 years have been one thing, and now it's always been release the Epstein files, release the Epstein
yep,
files, Epstein files,
yep,
Epstein, and then
yep,
some of the Epstein files are released, and someone in it
yep,
is implicated that you
yep.
like, and you're just like, oh, that's a Democrat hoax now.
Suddenly
That's
you don't remember
fake.
the children anymore, like,
Yeah, what about the children? What
right.
about
Yeah.
the child's being essayed? Why is it that what in someone's brain can make them change and pivot so much and have an opinion and then
Mm.
change from that opinion because it doesn't fall in their favor? I don't
Let me
get
offer
it.
the let me offer this, and then, I actually sent you a video, you should check it out, and maybe we should talk about this next time, and we're getting pretty close, I think, to wrapping up for this one, but there's a possibility, Jason, that our brains are evolving separately, that we're literally seeing things, the same thing, and interpreting them absolutely differently, and it's one thing, you say we look at, like, the shooting of Renee Good or the shooting of Alex Preddy, and we got one group over here seeing the exact same thing one way and we're seeing it another way. That's one thing, but it's caught up in such an emotional state that we don't maybe necessarily see it for what it is, and it's like an obvious, like, the sky is green, no, the sky is brown kind of a situation, and that is is about as dangerous as anything in a culture. It's terrifying. It's like the way things were just after the Civil War in this country. It's like the way things were just after World War One in Germany. It's a bad way to be where you have people that are dichotomized, right? And looking at the similar situations completely differently. And now what's on the line is life and death, murder, or self-defense. These people can have guns, these people can't. These people can vote, these people can't. It's just all winding up
But Mike,
mm,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, I wanna hear what you have to say about
Finish.
that. That was it. Yeah.
How can your brain evolve when you're already an adult? Doesn't that have to start with from when you're younger? That's how the brain changes
Yeah,
for each
so
generation of
and
younger, younger,
yeah,
younger?
you're absolutely right. So it's more, I guess it's more of an adaptation than evolution. When ev evolution specifically speaks to something new getting written into your DNA so that your next generation is born with that adaptation already in there. So, for example, let's say suddenly you live in a world where there's no more shoes and the ground is really, really hot, right? Your children might be born with thicker feet.
Yeah,
Just
understood.
that's you know, and their children from then on, it start to be written into the DNA. This isn't necessarily one of those things that is written into the DNA. No, this is an adaptation that's happening, and a lot of it, I think, is because of social media, but I think a lot, like I had said
100%.
before, the process had started, like, I think maybe right around the end of the Cold War, Jason, is when if I really wanna think about it, if I really wanna put my finger on it, in my lifetime when I noticed people stopping civility and starting to think that, well, that's wrong because that person believes it, period. End of, you know what I'm saying? Like, the end of compromise in Congress and the end of compromise in civic, areas, that, I think, to me, seemed like it happened right around the end of the Cold War, and it started with, like, the election of Bill Clinton. Like, people started being, that I could see, being a little bit nastier. I mean, they were nasty to Jimmy Carter, I'm not gonna lie. They
Mm.
said some pretty mean things about that guy, and he turned out to just be one of the nicest human beings, best human beings ever. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm trapped looking at it through my own lifespan. And I was young back then, and I'm older now, and so maybe I see things differently, but it really seems to me that when the Cold War came to an end, we had no enemy anymore, and so we were, like, frantically looking around for enemies, and we ended up getting them in Al Qaeda and Iraq, right? We ended up finding those enemies about a decade later, but, um, in the meantime, we had already started turning each other into enemies, and you hear Rush Limbaugh, and you hear all, shows like Crossfire, where the whole point of the show is to get out there and fight. Like, I'm on the left and I'm on the right. We're gonna fight. That Jon Stewart absolutely destroyed them on that show. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but you should check it out. Crossfire with Jon Stewart,
He's my
and
spirit animal.
that was Tucker Carlson's first gig. I think it was Tucker and Paul Bagala that were there. Paul Bagala on the left and Tucker on the right. And right there in real time, Jon Stewart says, "You guys are the problem. You're creating what you're having people tune in here for is the fight, not the solution," and he's been there pretty much ever since, if you think about it. But I think that's about when it started, right? Started wiring our brains in that way, and now we've been conditioned in this way. And dude, this whole right-left polarity is gonna kill us. It really is gonna kill us all. It's gonna keep us from solving basic problems, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Fun fact: John Stewart has been asked. He's been asked. I can't speak. Quite a few times if he's going to run for office, and he has not said no. He has
Where would he
always
run?
skirted around it. Huh?
Where's he from? I think he's from New York, so, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't say what office. He could run for president. Who knows? But he has not said no,
He would be
which is
amazing to run for president because you have him in a debate now, and he is fast thinking. He's got just a massive bank of information. He can change the way the debate goes, and he can get everybody on that stage to say differently. This is what I'm committed to now. He'd be great at
yeah,
that.
and
He would be fantastic.
they asked some of his policies. I can't remember what policies they asked, but he actually had an answer, which was very very refreshing to see. Like usually you see these, celebrities uh and running for office, they don't really have any answers. He has answers. He's my spirit animal. I love
He's
John
got
Stewart
and he also has
a
empathy,
lot.
dude. He's a good dude, and what seems to drive him is, like, good principles, and so I like Jon Stewart a lot. I like him a lot.
I don't know why anyone in their right mind would want to run for president, but um yeah, more power to him if he does. Anything else on the Epstein files? We know that there is a lot of people implicated for a lot of disgusting things in these files. I don't think a Friday news dump is going to keep this
Nah.
away. Actually, I know it's not.
We
I
should
think that
we should dedicate a few minutes every episode coming up to what we found out this week.
Yeah, I think that this it, I'll just say this. I don't understand. I just did it. I did the eye roll. I know I did. I looked at the sky. I always do that when I'm thinking. There goes my eyes. I think that there it's disgusting, and anyone in office right now or before needs to be held accountable. I don't understand how we have people in our highest offices who can get away with this, and it's like it's no big deal. So we need to start doing something about that.
Great reboot, man. That would be awesome just to clean the deck. But even if we can just remove like 20% of the people that are there, just like sweep that part off and then bring in 20% new people, that would be great.
Maybe if the liberals can grow some fucking balls and do
Good luck
anything.
with that.
None
Good
of
luck.
them have a spine. None of them have a spine. Not one of them. I don't care. You can name any of them. In the end, they
No,
all don't have a spine to
I
do a
will.
damn
No,
thing.
no. Bernie and Ocasio Cortez have spines. Omar's got a
I
spine.
haven't
There's a
I
few of
haven't
them, but
seen them do shit about it. They're not doing nothing about it. They're not bringing in new things. They're not
they're
saying shit.
powerless,
So,
brother. They're
they're
powerless.
not. Your voice is your fucking power.
What they should
Your
do,
voice is your power.
they should all be in Minnesota. And when it moves over to Springfield, Ohio, they should all go to Springfield, Ohio. I mean, every Democrat in both houses of Congress. That's what you do. Everyone go
Yeah,
there.
they're never gonna do that.
Oh, fuck no, they don't do that. But I'm just
What they're
saying,
gonna do is they're gonna wait for the midterms, and then all of a sudden, if it goes their way, they're gonna grow a spine. That's what's gonna happen, and they're gonna talk about how this needs to happen and that needs to happen. Yet for the last year, we just been sitting on our fucking hands doing nothing. I hate politicians, dude. Anyways, I don't
yeah,
want to get into that.
the bad news for us
Um,
is that even if there is a big tidal wave for this midterm, we're gonna end up with Chuck Schumer as the fucking Senate Majority
nah,
Leader.
he needs to go away. He needs to go away, dude. Him, Hakeem Jeffries, they all need to go away. All of
I
them.
wouldn't
All of
mind.
them. Go.
I wouldn't
Bye,
mind.
bye,
And I'll
bye,
tell you
bye,
what.
bye.
Hey, here's an idea. If they were to all resign, that would be awesome. To say we just need fresh blood, that would be fantastic. I'd look at them
That's
from
not
as
gonna
heroes.
happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. Of
That's
course
not
not.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
I'm just saying
they're
if
gonna
they're
get
not,
voted out. They're not gonna be there. They're unpopular. They are
if they're
Hakeem
safe.
Jeffries.
He's in a
No, they're
safe.
not. No. They're gone.
Hakeem Jeffries is in a safe district of New York, dude. He's not going anywhere.
He's
Schumer,
gone. You wanna bet? I bet he does. I bet he's
you think
gone.
so? You think he's gone like he's
I
going to be like what
no,
he's
I just think
gonna
he's not gonna hold his title anymore.
he is about to become the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
God, I hope
Like,
not.
well, and that keep in mind that's what we're gonna get, Jason. And I'll take it over. I will take Fuck, I'll take fucking Tom DeLay over what we got right now, dude. I'll take fucking, Newt Gingrich over
Nah.
what we got right now. Like, Jesus
We can't
Christ.
we can't
We
settle
can't
for
settle.
just
No, you're
taking
right. We shouldn't.
what we get. We need
You're right.
this needs an overhaul. The Democrats may not be as let's see. Everyone thinks I'm liberal and I'm Democrat. I don't like
I
either
don't like
side,
either side,
but
but
I fall into a category where more of my personal there goes my eye roll. More of my personal values fall on the left.
right.
Period. End of story.
Yeah.
I'm not a Democrat. I'll vote Republican if I like the guy who's Republican.
If,
It doesn't matter to
if
me.
I'm with you
But
on that. If
we
they
need a
roll up,
fucking reset. All these people need to
yeah.
fucking get the fuck out of here. They're all they're all compromised, and that's all I'll say about that. Any last parting words?
Yeah, they've convinced this liberal after 4 decades that term limits are necessary. Never thought that before. I
Yes,
always thought that that was a limit on our democracy. No, term limits, absolutely. There's no real wiggle room on that. And the other thing is they've changed my mind about how I feel about the Second Amendment. Um, I think that the ink is out of the well on that. Every single person in this country needs to know what guns can do. If at the very least you need to get your ass to a gun safety course and just find out what these things are and what they can do because they're all around you. It's just you're walking around, with something very dangerous within a stone's throw of you all the time, and you really ought to know what the fuck they can do. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
I
That's how.
agree. I concur, and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone out there stays safe this next week. And if you're
Better be
somewhere
there.
that's
Yeah.
cold, stay warm.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
And
For sure, man.
if you care at all, give us a like, a share. These next
Appreciate
few
that.
episodes are going to be going up on Spotify here today. I've been
Cool, cool,
kind of,
cool.
I've been kind of, yeah, I haven't been very good at that. So I'm going to get them up today. And peace out. Love y'all.
Yep, yep. See you, Jay. Have a good week, brother.
Let 'em in.
Late.
Peace.